So this here is the Zhiyun WEEBILL 3S. The first thing I like about it is the packability. Like, check that out. It locks into place. You know how gimbals are always flopping around all over the place and they're kind of hard to pack? Each of the sort of rotating arms here has a lock switch on it, and when you put it in place, it will just lock. So the whole thing becomes flat like this, and strap it onto the outside of backpacks as well if you want quick access. Really, really like that feature, because especially if you're a hybrid photo video person, being able to take a gimbal with you is always a huge bonus. We've gone past the stage of gimbals needing more power in order to hold cameras. Where we are at right now, I think, is all about usability. And for me, the WEEBILL 3S has loads of features that make it super convenient and really easy to use. Let me show you. What this does is it gives you an extension arm plus a wrist mount. And that slides in at the bottom here and then locks in place, just with a little arm on the side. So what you get is this adjustable armrest. And you adjust it simply by just turning this dial. You can just wind it up and down until it's comfortable. And that just takes the pressure off the wrist. And then you've got this extra handle here to hold on to. Now this can be extended as well. So you can just twist this and pull it up here, or maybe you want to leave it down. It depends on the kind of camera that you're using. So for me, this is a good position here. You can get a little bit of pressure off that arm by spreading the weight onto your left arm slightly, having this handle to hold on to. Handle is another trick up its sleeve. If I undo here, there's a little lever at the side here which I can undo. If I pull this into a position at the back here, see, then what I can do is I can fly the gimbal like this, and I can get low angle shots really easily and get low shots or waist height shots. The whole thing is pretty lightweight for what it is. I'd say it's a lightweight gimbal. That wrist rest there, it just makes it so comfortable to use, especially for extended periods of time. Like if you're doing bits of commercial work, if you're doing like weddings, and maybe you're doing portrait shoots and things where you want to do some video portraits as well. Just being able to work and not then get repetitive strain injuries. Like if you do that stuff on a regular basis, you know what I mean? It just becomes tiring doing gimbal work to the point where people just don't want to take gimbals with them. But with this being packable and then really comfortable to use, I mean, it really is comfortable. That's obviously fairly heavy, right? But as soon as you get that wrist rest on there, it just feels lightweight. When I'm holding it like this, it becomes, I don't know, it's sort of effortless. It's really easy to hold. I think gone are the days where I think, oh no, I've got to bring the gimbal along again. That, for me, is a game changer. One thing we're doing a lot of now is vertical video. For content creation, for small businesses, if you're doing it for yourself as well, vertical video is becoming more of a thing. This gimbal allows you to switch really easily between vertical and landscape orientation. You could literally just slide the thing off and slide it back on in the other orientation. This kind of highlights what I was saying before. It's now, I think the game is all about usability, because gimbals just do what gimbals do. In terms of effectiveness, they're very, very good at it now. But it's all about user experience and making it easy to use. I absolutely need gear to just get out of the way and do things quickly and effectively. I can't be spending ages faffing around and messing about with stuff. I need to get things done. Do you know what I mean? I've gone from sort of dreading using a gimbal to just feeling like, yeah, okay, I can just use it. I don't know if you noticed, but the WEEBILL 3S has actually got a little video light on the front of it. And this gets controlled from the wheel at the side. If you just press it in and hold it in, then it turns the light on. The wheel itself just wheels the power up and down. The maximum luminance on it is 1000 lux with CRI of 91. If you quick press the wheel, you can alternate between the brightness of the light and the color temperature. So you can see I can turn the color temperature up and down, and the color range goes from 2600 Kelvin up to 5500 Kelvin. So you're going to be able to balance it with most lighting situations if you want to. Like, this is great if you need a bit of extra fill light. It could even be good on things like music videos as well, because it can give you that extra bit of light, and that kind of direct on-camera look is kind of in at the moment, and it could look kind of cool to be able to use that. But also for weddings, if you want to grab little interviews with people, like guests at weddings, just being able to switch this on and off with a little hold of a button on the side of the gimbal, that's where it's at. Again, it's that usability. Just be able to just do it so simply. Just balance the light once, and then when anyone wants to say a little something to the camera, you can just switch that little light on and you're able to get some light onto them in a really simple way. You can record via the Bluetooth button on the gimbal. As long as you've got Bluetooth enabled on your camera, just something to note, it's a 2-stage trigger, just like your shutter button is on your camera. It goes like half press, full press. The first half press makes it focus, and then the full press makes it record. It just works. There's nothing to say, it just works. Dotted around the WEEBILL 3S are little USB sockets. It comes with cables in the pack as well. You can use those to plug into your camera, and as long as your camera can charge via USB-C, which it probably can if it's doing video, you can use the gimbal to charge the camera. And the battery life on this gimbal lasts ages. This gimbal has 11.5 hours of runtime on it. So it's going to get you through most days of shooting. Like, you're probably going to run out of power before this gimbal does. I don't know many people who are shooting for 11.5 hours solidly of even like the hardest commercial shoot. You're going to get it out of this gimbal in one charge. But even if you need to charge it, here's the power delivery PD USB-C rapid charge. It will charge from flat to full in 2 hours, and you're ready to go for another 11.5 hours. Good luck to you if you're doing that. Now, the gimbal has this trigger on the front. 2 presses of the trigger will bring the camera back to level, and 3 presses will rotate it into selfie mode so you can film yourself. And 3 presses again rotates it back to facing forwards. You've got various different modes that you can use with the gimbal. You've got the locked mode, which means that it faces the same direction. No matter how you turn your hand, it will face the same way all the time. You've got the follow mode, which does what it says. It just follows all of your movements. As you move the camera around up, down, left and right, it will follow exactly what you're doing. Now, there's a mode called PF, which is a panning follow. So it will pan with you, but it won't go up and down. That locks off the vertical axis. That's probably the mode most people are going to use most of the time. The joystick on the back is really smooth and easy to use. It's very easy to have very smooth control. The joystick allows you to pan left and right and up and down. And there's a wheel on the front that allows you to adjust the roll on the camera as well. Right, you guys know me. I get offered loads of stuff to review. I only review the stuff that I think I'm going to use. For me to actually put the review up onto YouTube means that I think that the product is of a certain standard that means that I will use it. Even if it's a sometimes use or it's a regular use, if it's good enough for me to use, then I'll recommend it. I don't accept every product that's thrown my way. I reject the vast majority of what's sent my way. And some products come to me and I just send them back because I don't think they're good enough. Zhiyun with the WEEBILL 3S, this company is one of those companies that knows what they're doing. They've got a lot of experience doing this and they're making good, solid products. Links are in the description down below. Go and check them out. The Zhiyun WEEBILL 3S comes highly recommended from me.